I just want to say I was a senator for 20 years plus, nearly 30 years, and it's become a totally and utterly dysfunctional body. And what we're doing today is we're attempting to put reform on the agenda. Seanad, I think, is really past its sell-by date. It should be bound to mistake. What we'd like to see is to see a second chamber revived from the ashes. It's very important, I think, that the government is given an opportunity to debate reform. And there's no plan B proposed by the government in the event of the referendum being defeated. If the referendum is defeated, which I hope it will be, one of the most disastrous results, if we don't allow reform to be discussed, is that we'll go back to the same old system of patronage and cronyism, where the government abuses the second chamber to put its friends and relations and its political proteges back into power. What we're doing is giving it an opportunity by putting this bill before the Dáil to adapt Plan B and to discuss and debate Plan B. That bill was put on the order paper by me with the support of my independent colleagues about 2 weeks ago. That's the Quinn-Sapone bill, which is now actually on the order paper, and the government did not oppose it. On Thursday, when the constitutional reform bill is proposed by the government, I put down a standing order number 125, which is asking the Dáil to decline to give it a second reading on the grounds that there has been no opportunity for a discussion of reform, but there is only an option of abolition. I expect to get the support, or hope to get the support, of those Labour Party and Fine Gael dissidents who have said that they are strenuously in favour of reform on Thursday for that particular measure. And finally, I'd like to say this. There are some very simple measures you can take to make a constructive, sensible, analytical second chamber. Why don't they hold, for instance, as a first measure, why don't they hold Dáil and Seanad elections on the same day? That would be very simple. That would stop people who are failed TDs and friends of the Taoiseach from immediately going back into the Seanad and using it as a resting place. Why don't they allow all people to have votes in Seanad elections? It is an elite. It is for insiders, and I want to see that changed. And I also want to see, very definitely, a house which Enda Kenny cannot abuse, cannot say has not done certain work which it has done, and cannot be abused by political parties consistently, whichever are in government, for their own purposes.
Shane,
fitting in regard Dublin Bay North. Just to say, first of all, I think it's very important that we challenge and take the fight to the abolitionists. We are members of the Dáil, but we strongly support a reform Seanad. We will fight them in the Dáil, we will fight them in the Seanad, we will fight them in every street around and every constituency in Ireland. The abolitionists are putting across a lot of misinformation in relation to this debate. This debate is about democracy. In an economic crisis, you need more democracy, not less democracy. So I'm strongly supporting this legislation because I think it's essential that if we care about this country, if we care about the future of this country, we'll strongly support a reform, Seanad.
I think one of the things that has really struck me is that this abolition of the Senate is being presented as the cure to all the ills and to all that's needed in political reform. And I think it's taking the eye off the ball. I do accept totally that the Senate is in need of reform. It's not democratic, it is elitist, but I think there is a major role for the Senate in a democracy. And one of the independent members on the Constitutional Convention, the past 2 weekends we have been discussing electoral reform. There was absolutely no doubt that there was an appetite at the convention to discuss Dáil reform and Senate reform, and the Constitutional Convention wasn't given a chance to discuss either.
This is one of the signatures on the bill. I totally support what Shane and our colleagues are trying to do. We have to hold Enda Kenny to account. It seems to be his pet project here. One of the only issues he's going to deliver on if he succeeds, and I intend in ensuring with others that he doesn't succeed, because the Senate is badly needed. As a second timer here in the House, I can see the way this government are acting with the guillotine. They're acting with stymieing all kinds of debate, and they're really being bullied by tactics. And blaming the Senate is not the answer. And I think we need fair, honest, and open debate here. And I will welcome going out to meet the challenge on the ground with the people, because the people are smarter than the Taoiseach might think, and I think they will give him his answer. They already did as regards the committee on the Oireachtas hearing. So we have a very intelligent electorate, and they see what's going on here. It's just a smokescreen to cover up the other ineptitudes.